and the successor agency RDA meeting for May the 8th, 2018. Invocation.
Father God, we do thank you tonight for allowing us to be here once again, and we do thank you that the president and family from our sister city was here visiting, and we just ask that when they leave, they give them traveling mercies home. And Father, it was so great to know that they were able to have a reunion with their friends and family from their city in Mexico and the family that's here. And apparently it was a very, very great reception for them, and we're thankful we were able to do that. And Father, be with the council tonight as they discuss the business of the city. Let the hearts and the minds be of one accord. And Father, we just thank you and praise your holy name. Amen.
We shall proceed with the flag salute. Myra, would you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilmember Director Trumbull.
Here.
Councilmember Director Rios.
Present.
Councilmember Director Maravilla.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Vice Chairmember Bruce.
Here.
Mayor Chairmember Rodriguez.
Here.
You have a quorum.
We have a short video of our recent event, the Mayor's Prayers Breakfast.
My name is Ren Sabio, and I have the honor and the privilege to be the senior pastor of New Hope Community Church here in Hawaiian Gardens. We are humbled and honored to be given the opportunity to host the 4th annual Mayor's Prayer Breakfast for our beautiful city. As a community of faith, it is our desire to be an integral part of the fabric of our city. Our motto is, come as you are, leave better, and we mean that.
I welcome you again to our 4th annual Mayor's Breakfast. Hope you all are enjoying our breakfast from Acapulco. So thank you, Acapulco's restaurants. I just want to take a few moments to thank our sponsors. And we appreciate them so much for contributing to this worthy cause here.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved the wretch like me.
I think that community is important because in community, there you have those that find their purpose. Paul the Apostle, in writing to the church of Ephesus here, the Ephesian believers, was encouraging them to endeavor, to make it their aim. To make it their aim in how they live and how they spoke and how they conducted their lives on a day-to-day basis. To keep the unity.
Gracias por todas las bendiciones que usted ha traído sobre cada uno de nosotros. Pero también queremos unirnos, Señor, para pedir que su benevolencia esté con nosotros en todo el tiempo.
We are reminded in Scripture that with God nothing is impossible. God's word says in Psalm 23:12, "Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord."
We ask that this world, my God, looks to you, sees America prosper, and asks, why do they prosper? Let them see that you have picked this up from the foundations and that what you have done for us, you can do also for them.
You're the God of this city. You're the King of these people. You're the Lord of this nation. You are. You're the light in this darkness.
Hello, my name is Karina Martyr. I'm the principal at Melbourne Elementary School. When we first began with the idea of a parent and community center, it happened as a result of conversations with parents. Parents who come in the mornings, come in the afternoons, parents who said that they wanted a resource in the community where they could access computers, where they could get material translated and interpreted for them, where they felt that they could come here at school and feel supported with technology to learn what it is that their students needed at home and how they could learn how to support their kids at home.
Mi nombre es Nereida Sánchez, soy presidenta del PTA de Melbourne. Bueno, pues quisimos abrir este centro de padre porque empezamos a ver las carencias de los padres. Entonces fue un propósito de la principal junto con PTA abrir este centro de padres para nuestra comunidad. Los beneficios que debe de tener el padre y que estamos luchando para que el centro de padres se mantenga es porque la misma comunidad de Melbourne y la comunidad de Hawaii Garden, cualquier padre puede venir, está abierto. Vemos que no pueden llenar papeles, necesitan hacer algo en el internet y no tienen acceso a computadoras ni saben entrar al sitio web. Entonces por eso es nuestro propósito. Hay gente que no sabe llenar sobres para mandar una carta, aquí mismo se les hace, se les pone estampillas, se les hace todo. Para que vean el proceso de sus niños, también es necesario que vengan al centro de padres.
My name is Isamar Perez and I'm the Parent and Community Coordinator here at Melbourne Elementary School. At the Parent and Community Center, we offer all kinds of services for parents, students, and members of the community. We have internet access for those that don't have it at home. If you need to print or make copies, you can do that here with us. If parents or anyone gets a letter in the mail and needs help translating it, we can do that for you as well.
My name is Sylvia Madrano, Wellness Coordinator here at Melbourne Elementary. And one thing that I'm really looking forward to with our Parent and Community Center is what it's going to provide for our parents. We're definitely looking forward for our parenting workshops that are going to be taking place next year. Certain topics will go from mental health all the way to how to help your student be a successful student. And for higher education as well. Stay tuned for those dates. They will be coming your way.
We're hoping that the Parent and Community Center will be able to bridge the gap between home and school in terms of technology, making sure that our parents have the resources and the tools that they know how to use, the resources and the tools available in terms of technology. Learn a little bit more on how to get onto Parent Portal, because we know that our parents don't just have kids here at Melbourne. They have kids at FETI, they have kids in Artesia, and so we want to make sure that parents feel secure as partners of the schools so that their children can succeed academically.
The Parent and Community Center is open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 to 11. If you need any supplies to do your homework, we have notebooks, pens, papers, highlighters, all of the things that you need to help you with your work.
Si necesitan traducción de español a inglés, pueden venir a nuestro centro de padres lunes, miércoles y viernes de 9 a 11 y todo mundo es bienvenido. So we really hope that you're going to come and visit our Parent and Community Center, take advantage of this great community resource.
Good morning, my name is Martha Martinez and I am the FETI coordinator for the Resource Center here. We are located next to the FETI Sports Complex and we have a lot of resources here for families in need. We have resources for housing and for shelters. We also have a community care closet where we have clothes for our families that need clothing as well, and we accept donations. We are open on Mondays through Fridays from 8 to 4. We also have a mental health service agencies on site to help people get referred out, and we also have a clinic that helps the public with any medical needs, any vaccines, or anything they might need.
Hi, my name is Marie McAfee. I'm the lead administrator for John Wesley Health Center, which is a nonprofit organization in collaboration with ABC Unified School District in the city of Hawaiian Gardens. We offer medical care at a clinic located inside of Fetty Middle School. Our hours of operation are currently Mondays and Wednesdays from 8 to 5. We offer primary care, pediatrics, immunizations, podiatry, family planning, mental health services, chronic disease case management, and dental oral health screenings. During our hours of operation at Fetty Middle School, we also assist with healthcare insurance enrollment, such as Medi-Cal, MyHealthLA, Family Pact, and Covered California. No one is ever turned away due to their lack of ability to pay for services. Our team is bilingual. We speak both English and Spanish, however, are able to assist with translation services. You can schedule your appointment today by calling 562-867-7999. Hope to see you soon.
We have 3 adult classes that take place here. 2 of them come from Cerritos College, and one of them is actually from the ABC School District. One is an ESL class, and then we have 2 Spanish classes. One is for computers in Spanish, the basic computers, and then we have another one that is also for the GED.
Buenos días, esta es la clase de computación. Tenemos una clase de computación de Cerritos College y las clases son martes y jueves. Entonces los invitamos a las clases de computación. Aquí lo que hacemos es que los estudiantes vienen y tenemos, las clases son desde el nivel más bajo. Lo que tratamos es que los alumnos pierdan el miedo a las computadoras. Empezamos desde cómo mover el ratón, cómo funciona el teclado, también nos movemos un poco y luego aprendemos también cómo usar Microsoft Word, PowerPoint y también el uso del Internet, que es muy importante hoy en día para los padres de familia y también las personas que quieren obtener un trabajo, porque hoy en día si no sabemos cómo usar una computadora o cómo usar el Internet, pues estamos perdidos, ¿verdad? Entonces esa es la intención de esta clase. Entonces los invitamos, las clases son completamente gratis y son los martes y jueves de las 8:30 a las 10:30. Mi nombre es Rosario Correa y estoy aquí para servirles.
My name is Ruben Robles, and I just started this class about 3 weeks ago. And I think it's great because I got a computer in my home, but I didn't know how to use it the proper way. And I think this class is great to teach us how to do things the proper way.
My name is Maria Robles, and me gusta venir a esta clase. Mi esposo es Rubén y lo invité a venir a esta clase porque en realidad los dos tenemos necesidad de aprender, porque muchas veces necesitamos hacer trabajo en la computadora y no lo sabemos hacer, y nos está ayudando bastante venir aquí a esta clase. Aprendemos bastante, aprendemos de perdido prender la computadora y usar los beneficios que tiene.
My name is Delia Perigo. I went to Cerritos College for a few years, and now I'm back here taking this computer class. Because when I went to Cerritos College, it was just the beginning of the computer classes, so that tells you how long ago. But I guess it's never too late to learn.
Hola, yo soy Maribel Fonseca, soy la maestra de inglés para adultos aquí en el centro de la comunidad de Fetty. Nuestra clase es los martes, miércoles y jueves de 8:30 a 11:30. Los invitamos a asistir a nuestra clase para todos los adultos que estén interesados en aprender inglés. Y la clase es sin costo a los estudiantes.
My name is Yolanda Ramirez. I like to come to the classes English. My classes are very, very good. My teacher learning English good.
Hi, my name is Francisca Valencia, and I attend the English class because I want to get a better job. The class is very good, the teacher is excellent, and I enjoy stay here. I invite everybody to come to the class here in Fetty Community School.
Thank you, Bashir. Now we shall go into oral communications. This is the time reserved for members of the public wishing to speak on items on and not on the agenda except for public hearing items. This period will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Maximum time allocated is 15 minutes. Upon conclusion of the oral communication, the City Council or City staff at the direction of the Mayor may respond to any questions or statements that were presented by members of the public. The City Council is prohibited by law from discussing or taking any action.
Good evening, Mayor Rodriguez, City Council. This is your librarian here. I have a couple of announcements of things going on in the library. One of the most important is that we are the vote-by-mail drop-off location. We have a large secured box that will accept your votes up through June, the same day as election, up until 8 p.m. So feel free to come by the library with your mail, vote by mail, and drop it off with us. We just started a tutoring program at the library. It's called Reading Stars. It is for children grades kindergarten through 3rd grade, and it is reading tutoring. Retired seniors come back to the library, and they help young people read. There are a few spots left, so if you check with the library staff, we're running through June 1st. We will start up in earnest again at the school year and be drawing from the schools. We also have a fantastic new machine that drives around Hawaiian Gardens. It's called the Reading Machine, and it visits preschools and private daycares. And today it went to Kids Covenant Preschool, where they enjoyed a story time, and it's going to be at MAOF on Thursday, and along with another one whose name I'm sorry I don't remember. So we're really excited about that because we were a city that was specially chosen for this program. So they get 2 story times, special story times every month. On Saturday, May 12th, we have a traditional Mexican folk art. We are doing the straw painting workshop, and that's at 2 o'clock Saturday, May 12th. We also have an Aztec flute workshop, and that is Saturday, May 19th, also at 2 o'clock. We hope to see you, and keep on reading and visiting us at the library. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Steve Forster, Senior Vice President of Infrastructure Engineers, and I'd just like to take this opportunity to say thank you. Our infrastructure executive team is here tonight, and we'd just like to say again, thank you for the opportunity to present our qualifications to you most recently. And we are here tonight to answer any questions that you may have that arises from that. So again, thank you for the opportunity to partner with both the council, the community, and the staff. Thank you again.
Thank you. Seeing no one else, I will close the oral communications. Does anybody here in the panel would like to make comments or ask any questions?
I just wanted to make a comment on the video presentation. Great job, Bashir, and it's just great to see how many community resources we have for the people in our city and also for the parents. So I hope that people will take advantage of those things.
Next, agenda organization. This is the time for the city council members to discuss any changes in the order of agenda items. We have no changes, so we'll go into public hearings. Item A1, ordinance number 579, conduct public hearing and second reading and adopt ordinance number 579, repealing section 13.08.010 of the City of Hawaiian Gardens Municipal Code and replacing it with the new updated section 13.08.010 relating to sanitary sewer and industrial waste. Report, please.
Yes, Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council, this was an item that you had considered and introduced on April 24, 2018, which is to repeal Section 1308.010 of the Hawaiian Gardens Municipal Code as it relates to the sanitary sewer and industrial waste section of the municipal code. This is a county code that we adopt by reference. It was last updated in 2009, and we are just requesting that you update it to the current standards, and therefore we are recommending that you conduct a public hearing and adopt ordinance number 579.
I will open up the public hearing. Anybody in the audience would like to make any statements or questions? No. So conduct public hearing.
Don't we have to second it and
No,
all the formalities? Or
Not
no?
to formally open the
No?
public hearing, no.
Okay, so I will close public hearing. And we'll conduct public hearing, conduct second reading, read by title, and adopt ordinance number 579.
At this time, it would be appropriate to make a motion if the council desires to approve this item. And this would be second reading, and I would recommend reading the entire title in that motion.
I motion to approve ordinance number 579 to conduct public hearing and second reading and adopt ordinance number 579 repealing section 13.08.010 for the City of Hawaiian Gardens Municipal Code and replacing it with the new updated section 13.08.010 relating to sanitary sewer and industrial waste.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Do you do any reading on that anymore? Or just that one right there? Okay, we go to consent calendar. Items listed on the consent calendar are considered routine and will be enacted by one motion and one vote. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item may be removed from the consent calendar and will be considered separately. Do we have any items which to be removed?
I request that item C5 be pulled. C5.
C5?
I would like to pull number 1, number 2.
Item C1 and 2?
Correct.
I will pull C3.
C3. Any more items?
Hold on a minute, Mayor. Which is the item that we're doing the Carson beautification? Completion. Oh, that's discussion item. Okay, thank you.
Make a motion that we approve the rest of the consent calendar as is.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item C1. Adopt resolution number 042-2018, approving the preliminary engineer's report for Consolidated Landscape and Lighting Assessment District number HGLLA1 and declaring the City Council's intent to levy an assessment and to set the public hearing date for June the 12th, 2018. Report.
Joe Colombo, please.
Members of the City Council, this is an item that we do routinely every year, and that is the part of the utilities and part of the landscaping is funded through the Consolidated Lighting and Landscaping District for the medians. You pay for all the energy costs, you pay for all the maintenance, and not necessarily 100%, but a portion of this is a portion of those improvements or costs are paid out of this account. This is something that we have to do every year, in which is we need to adopt the engineer's report so that we can assess and levy the amount against the property, against the parcels. There is no increases being recommended from this, and so we're just recommending that you continue doing the same thing that you've done in the past. This is an assessment district that had been created years ago in 1972. The county was operating it, and we took it from the county in 1995. So since we've taken it over in 1995, there have been no increases to this assessment. So we're just recommending that you approve the report and hold a public hearing at your next scheduled, I believe it's actually for June 12th at 6 o'clock p.m.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Colombo. I just wanted to clarify for the residents that there is no increase this time, and of course, if they have any concerns, they can go ahead and approach us at that time. Thank you.
I did have a question about the report. I saw in the report, page 18, number 2, boundaries of district. It just says that the district, it doesn't describe the boundaries of the district. It just says that it's an Exhibit A filed with the city clerk. So for clarification and for the public, is the district the entire city of Hawaiian Gardens?
Correct.
All right, thank you.
Any more comments or questions? So if none, then we'll make a motion to adopt resolution number 042-2018.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
What's the next item?
Item number C2, adopt resolution number 043-2018. Approve the use of $200,000 of consolidated landscaping and lighting assessment district number Hawaiian HGLA1 reserve funds for the Carson Street beautification project, and to amend the fiscal year 2017-2018 budget to reimburse the general fund capital improvements program in the amount of $200,000. Report.
So, Mayor and members of City Council, the Carson Street beautification project, which is on the agenda tonight for approval of the whole project, had some expenditures that qualify for use of these funds. So we were going to use these funds to offset the general fund expenditures and create savings into Fund 30. If you have specific questions about this, what is eligible under these funds, Joe Colombo can answer.
No, my questions were more in terms of, since it's an expenditure, I thought we needed more money to add something to the project. And I did see that it was completed now, but it seems that's already projects that have already been completed is what you're telling us. Okay.
We're essentially swapping out general fund dollars with
I understand.
restricted funds. So.
Thank you.
Motion to adopt the resolution.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Joe, can I ask just one question briefly on the Carson Street project? I've noticed that the lighting still is very glitchy and changes on that marker sign kind of abruptly.
Yeah, we'll be working with the in-house Public Works staff as that project has been turned over to the Public Works department, and we're going to have to work on that together with the Public Works maintenance staff because the project has pretty much been handed over to the city, and that's something that we're going to have to do on our own, and Public Works staff is being trained to do that.
Okay, thanks.
Now we have access, because the other issue is not only are the colors kind of rotating too fast, but like the really bright magenta type colors, you can't see Hawaiian Gardens in it at all. So.
Okay, thank you. Item number C3.
C3, yes. I just wanted clarification, and I wanted clarification on page P46.
46.
P46. And on your center ring, right below your center ring, it says acrylic cutout for Easter, and it's $2,750.
Honorable Mayor and members of City Council, that particular item is, we have directed staff's under direction to really upgrade a lot of our citywide programs and events with regards to decorations and signage. And so in this case, we ordered our acrylic cutouts and decorations that will last for many years, but you should not expect these type of expenditures going forward. Staff's working together with Public Works staff to create the cutouts as they may change more than every 5 or 6 years, because we expect this to last quite a bit of time. They're professionally done digital cutouts, but we are trying to work together within departments to accomplish this task. So,
That's great to hear.
Thank you.
Glad the events committee is doing great work.
Yeah, but I just wanted to point out that this expensive stuff, they were beautiful cutouts, and I just want to make sure we preserve them.
It will be preserved.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
It will
great.
be preserved, and you should expect more of that type of work.
All right, thank you very much.
Have faith
Motion
in Steve and
to
Joe.
adopt the resolution.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And since we're on the subject of cutouts, the logo on the recreation center and also on the freeway are faded and they need to be replaced.
So the logo on the building facing the public has been ordered, and we're ordering the one on the freeway on July 1, new fiscal year.
Thank you. Item C5, an update from the Community Development Department on measures taken to alleviate the conditions leading to the adoption of urgency ordinance number 578U, accessory dwelling units pursuant to the California Government Code Section 65858D. Report.
Mayor, Member City Council, you want the report on the whole agenda or a specific item that we've had on this?
Yeah, let Myra take this.
Sure.
She called it out.
So I just had a couple of questions about the accessory dwelling units. I know that this law, because I read the staff report, and I know that we met on April 19th to briefly discuss this in our city, being proactive and not taking the very lenient law that's currently in place. But then now we're over May 8th, 2018, and I know that I've personally received a lot of inquiries from the public about what our city is doing to make sure that we're making this a simplified process in the planning department. And so I'm reading the staff report, and basically it's just, I understand that this is a very complicated matter and we want to make sure we do it correctly the first time. But it looks like not much research has been presented to us as a council. And I know that this law took effect January 1st, 2017, and a lot of cities, including the city of Long Beach, have already acted on ADUs. And so I just feel like we're a little bit behind. And so I just want to, put out some recommendations so that we can hopefully get moving on this more in a sooner manner, because I know that in the staff report you're requesting an additional 10 months and 15 days to come back and review this again. But hopefully we can do this a little bit sooner. SB 229 and AB 494 took effect January 1st, 2018. Governor Brown signed that into effect. I reviewed AB 494, and it actually clarifies and improves a lot of the provisions first adopted January 1st, 2017. So I would just like my colleagues or staff to, look into AB 494 and see what other cities, including the city of Long Beach, have already adopted, and see what the process will be, because in this report I don't see when the Planning Commission has met to discuss this, and this looks like it should be under the purview of the Planning Commission.
So the urgency ordinance was put before you to essentially comply with state law while we came up with recommendations for you to consider. And I think certainly the city attorney can speak to it also, but we can look at any legislation that was approved, post this January 1, 2017 legislation from the state. I believe the urgency ordinance allowed us to comply to basically alleviate us from any potential litigation, but also gives us the ability and the time to do, as Councilmember Maravilla suggested, do things the correct way and propose those portions of a city ordinance that work best for this community. So,
I appreciate Ms. Maravilla's concern, and I know I've talked to my fellow council members from other cities as well, and I know they're looking into implementing this that in a manner that will be appropriate to their own cities. And I appreciate your comment about Long Beach, but I know that as a representative from Hawaiian Gardens, I want our staff to take measures to make sure that we do it right. And I believe if we review the vote, it was 5-0 to approve this urgency ordinance. So although I would also appreciate it done earlier, I would ask our staff to continue to do the research that needs to be done to make sure it's done right in our city.
Let me clarify, and I know, Chris, you're going to want to speak on this as well. Just to clarify, this is just an FYI staff report. There is no action here to be taken. It is strictly an item for a status update on what we're doing. This is an interim ordinance that was adopted by the City Council on April 19, 2018, which will expire in 45 days if we don't take action on May 22nd, 2018, which, unless there are some other directions, I'm anticipating that on May 22nd, there will be an ordinance for an extension for 10 months and 15 days. This is a very complicated and complex matter. It'll probably require a budget amendment. It'll probably require a consultant. And there is some concerns about how the codes work as far as ADUs. So the current ordinance as adopted by the city doesn't prohibit ADUs in the city. It just basically says that if you want to follow the current guidelines, we have current guidelines for parcels under 7,500, and then we have guidelines for parcels over 7,500, and that's where the concern is. As far as the Planning Commission, they're going to be involved as we are writing up the guidelines. So at the present time, there's no Planning Commission involvement. This is a legislative action that's required by the City Council. As this item takes shape and we hire the proper consultants to review this type of an ordinance, then the Planning Commission will be voting and giving a recommendation to the City Council as it is required by state law to do so. So I do not anticipate this item to be rushed unless there's a different direction that the City Council wishes to go. I do anticipate that on the next May 22nd agenda that an ordinance will be presented for an extension of 10 months and 15 days, and I believe state law allows us up to, I believe, 22 months, is it, Chris? Or
it's 24, so
20, a total of 24.
Years.
So it's a very complex ordinance amendment that will have to take place in order to comply with state law. That there was a concern that was presented to the City Council, and I believe the City Council echoed that same concern, and that's why we are in this position tonight. And again, this is just more of an FYI. The actual action will take place on May 22nd, 2018. So this is something that we are required to do per state law, which is to update the council on what's happening.
I wanted to clarify something on C5 also. I know we're limited to space, and the state wants us to build residence. But what I want to know is this. I've heard hotels do not fulfill the requirement that the state's requesting. Do hotels, are they considered resident space?
So, Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council, I think there are two issues. Both are related to the state's housing policy. Accessory dwelling units are not directly related to the issue you're discussing, but they're one of the tools that the state is using to try to increase the stock of affordable housing. With regard to hotels, I believe that would be referencing the state's general plan requirements.
Right. The hotels, as far as trying to meet the ADUs, will not meet that requirement. So
No.
as far as what the concern was, and now that I've seen the actual vote from the last council meeting, I don't believe Councilmember Myra was present. So the vote actually was 4-0. Was it, Steve? I think it was 4-0. So the concern was that the way the present code is written is that it allows you to convert an existing garage to an ADU. That was the main concern. And not having to comply with the garage requirements for that existing unit that you've taken out to convert to an ADU, and then for the ADU itself, not having to provide any parking. That's what the main concern was, that we're going to be converting garages, or potentially the garages will be converted to an ADU. So it's not that we are prohibiting ADUs here in the community. They are actually allowed. You just have to have a parcel that's 7,500 square feet or greater. So it pretty much pushes them on the larger parcels until the City Council and the Planning Commission can study the accessory dwelling unit ordinance.
I do understand that, and I appreciate, that information. I just, again, when something like this comes down the pipeline, I just hope that it's directed our way a little bit sooner, because again, this was approved January 1st, 2017, and then I know we didn't really get any information related to that at that time until recently, last month, from what I understand. And then we have new laws that were recently adopted on January 1st that further clarify and improve provisions to assist cities like ours. And that information is not in the staff report. So I just hope that, in the future, when big things like this come down the pipeline, hopefully we're given more information, simply because a lot of the media, a lot of the news is covering ADUs. And so I have a lot of residents calling me saying, hey, I saw it on the news at 5 o'clock, and what is the city doing? Should I go over there to pull permits? And so I have to explain that we're still under review, and everyone's like, what? It's all over the news. What do you mean it's legal? So just for us and to, to stay on top of it, I would appreciate that moving forward.
We understand your concerns.
I'll make a motion to receive and file.
Well, I had one more thing to say,
Yeah.
Mr. Bear Bruce. I'm sorry. I don't want to drag this out, but I read that they want us to build residence. I have an email saying they require residency.
So
And it was different from the garage.
well, the garage is a method. I mean, technically, depending on how you adopt an ordinance, you could split your house up if it's the right square footage, that kind of thing. But the whole point is adding more homes, because if you saturate the market with homes, the rent's not going to be as high. Mortgages aren't going to be as high. And so this is a state effort to do that without adding, I guess, what you would consider traditional housing elements. So.
All right.
Okay.
Mr. Bear Bruce, I'm sorry. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, before you continue, though, I do need to clarify that the applications are being accepted at the moment by those specifications. So all those residents that are talking to you should be directed to Mr. Colombo so that they could go ahead and talk about, what are the requirements right now. We're just looking into making sure that the needs are met for our residents in our city.
If there's an application and their lot is 7,500 square feet, we have to accept their application and process it. So
We're not denying the opportunity to our
no,
residents.
this is something that we've been talking to the city attorney's office actually since last year. So we've been working on this actually for quite some time. And again, it's a very complicated matter. A lot of cities are really scratching their head trying to find out what to do. So it's not as easy as it looks. This is just a concern that staff had and brought it to the council's attention. And we've been working with the city attorney's office for way over 8 months. But we do have to accept the application.
And is this application available on the website?
Yes, it is. It's just a standard application. It's a development application, plot plan review. It's just basic development. It's no different than adding a room addition or doing some type of TI work. So we do get people from time to time inquiring about the ordinance or inquiring about how to go about adding an accessory dwelling unit. But again, per the council's direction from the prior city council, and they voted to approve this interim urgency ordinance, there is a limitation of 7,500 square feet.
And just to clarify, the 10-month extension doesn't mean you have to wait 10 months to get anything approved. It just gives us the time to have something in place. So I think if I'm hearing your concerns correctly, we'll try to get this to you sooner than later.
Yeah, and to echo the city manager's point, just so there's no confusion, the law authorizes the city to keep this in place for up to 2 years, but the council can direct it come back in a month, So it certainly is just a procedural step that we're here this evening to receive and file this report. I would also note that if the council elects not to extend it, then we're prohibited from adopting a new ordinance temporarily on the same subject. So your only alternative would be a permanent version.
I do have a question, though, for clarification. If somebody does file an application online and they have the required amount of space, they're still going to have to wait until we come up with all the specifications to build. Isn't that correct? So it's going to take 10, 11 months or whatever.
Well, let me clarify. So as far as applying online, what they would be doing is downloading the application. So there is not a system in place where you can actually apply online. So they're able to download an application and file with the Community Development Department. So if we get an application for an accessory dwelling unit and we review it for adequacy to make sure it's complete, make sure that it falls within the zoning requirements as well as the urgency ordinance, then we have to process it. But again, this urgency ordinance, what it does is basically prohibits us from processing any application until you come up with certain regulations for parcels that are over 7,500 square feet or under. So in other words, anything under 7,500, we are to wait till the Planning Commission or the City Council reviews the various ordinances or in rules and regulations. Anything over 7,500, we are permitted to process and approve, assuming that they meet the minimum standards that are already outlined in the city's zoning code.
Okay.
What is the average footage on a regular two-car garage?
I'm sorry, sir?
The average footage on a two-car garage?
On a two-car garage, about 400 square feet, I believe.
Do we have any more questions? The motion was to receive and file.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We will now go into discussion items. Discussion item number 1. Accept the construction improvements by Sully Miller Contracting Company for the Carson Street beautification project is completed and authorize the city clerk to file the notice of completion. Report.
Mr. Colombo?
Yeah, Bashir, could you turn on the slide, please? So resolution number 45-2018 is a basic resolution that basically declares this project complete, which is recording a notice of completion for Sully Miller for the Carson Street beautification project. As you know, the City Council had approved plans and specifications and authorized a certain budget amount. The project is now deemed complete by the city engineer, and we are recommending that you adopt a notice of completion and authorize us to record the notice with the county recorder's office. The total expenditures for the construction portion of it is $2,723,748.56. So we just want to show you some pictures of some of the work in progress as we went through this extensive renovation of the boulevard. This was a pretty big capital improvement project for our city, probably the second largest after the Dead End Street project in relative to size and cost. But essentially the project was a major renovation aesthetically to the boulevard along the corridor on Carson between Pioneer and Norwalk Boulevard. There was no right-of-way acquisition. We simply enhanced the visual appearance of the boulevard by either rebranding, new signage, new waypoints, things of that nature, new signs, obviously new greenery, new landscaping. This is a slide of some of the contractors here in action. On the upper right-hand corner, you can see the contractor there installing the big, tall monument sign. You got some workers there in the bottom. One's putting out some, laying out some pavers, as that was one of the main features of the of this enhancement of this project was new pavers throughout the boulevard there. Bottom left-hand corner is a new bus shelter that's being installed there in front of the casino. The upper left-hand side is the stamped concrete there. So the two main intersections had stamped concrete around the entire intersection of Carson and Pioneer and Norwalk and Carson as well. There's another shot of additional workers here in action. One of the major key elements of this project is on the upper right-hand corner, which is the CMU wall that was built over the Artesia Norwalk storm drain channel and then decorated with stack stone. That was one of the major elements. You have also some workers there putting in some conduits and electrical wiring and some cement work that's occurring there on the boulevard for the bus shelter. Here's some before and after shots that we've put together. Obviously, this one is pretty dated, but it can show you more or less what the boulevard used to look like not too long ago. And this is what it looks like now. This is actually a shot from the bridge over the freeway looking towards Carson there, towards Norwalk Boulevard, highlighting the tower element, which was one of the main features of this project. Throughout the project, essentially what they've done is eliminated all the grass, all the sod, and replaced with shrubbery and trees, and of course the date palms on the right-hand side. Most of them existed on the left-hand side, which were the ones that existed from the casino construction. A lot of these improvements were done with growth impact fees, which were fees that the casino had to pay as a result of the construction. And of course, tonight we added $200,000 more. We just swapped out some funds and used some of the restricted funds in a lighting district. Here's another before picture. Here, I believe that's Taco San Pedro. And this is a current picture. Again, the median was where a lot of the treatment occurred. Along the medians, you also had new pavers. This particular median is a new median. It did not exist as a result of the casino construction, so we had to build an additional median. So there is additional greenery there where the tower sign is at. Here's another shot of before. This is when Taco Bell used to be located here, and now I believe it's Pepe's Restaurant. You can see the banners there on the light poles in the background. Here's a shot of, I believe, what's now Casa Adelita. This is on the appliance repair center on the opposite side, and this is the installation of the bus shelter. Again, this was one of the big key elements here was the addition of CMU wall over the Artesia Norwalk flood control channel, and this is what it looks like today. And throughout the median, there's the Arizona river rock that's been embedded into the median as well, with the different shrubberies from kangaroo paws and lily of the Nile plants. Throughout the corridor, there was several, and this one of the reasons why we targeted this area, there was several uplifted portions of the sidewalk from the magnolia trees. Also, you can see there, we have the plaques. I think there was over 40 plaques that were embedded into the brick there, which I believe is the scholarship program that you guys have. So one of the key elements is the concrete plinths that were installed in a way so that they are visible now, and not just you're looking down below, but they're at an angle. You can see the pedestrian. There's over 40 pedestrian lights that were installed throughout the boulevard. Another bus shelter installed right across from Pepe's Restaurant. Decorative pavers throughout the boulevard. I'm sorry? The decorative pavers that was added along the entire corridor. And additional wrought iron fencing that was installed in different locations throughout the city as the Artesia Norwalk Channel goes through the entire length of the city. So throughout other locations in the city, we installed wrought iron fencing. These next few slides pretty much highlight the key elements of what was actually done to improve and enhance the boulevard. Again, the waypoint signs that were installed throughout the city. This is the new median that was actually added. It did not exist. It was just striping and the monument sign. And you've got the concrete plinths that were installed throughout that boulevard. And these are the plastic wraps that were installed around utility boxes throughout the city there in that corridor. There are several banners, dual-face banners on the light poles. And there's another shot of the boulevard, and street signage throughout was also replaced. That concludes the presentation. Again, this is just an action item to declare the project complete and record the notice of completion for Sully Miller.
Great slide presentation. Great project.
Yeah, you got ahead of me. That's what I was going to request, before and after, because I love those pictures. And I believe Ms. Maravilla brought it up. I'm not sure if any of the other council members have mentioned it, but I do believe that following section deserves merit to somehow start working it in, because I do believe that portion after Norwalk would be brought to life if we went ahead and did something similar, or, obviously its own project. So good job. That's awesome. And I do hear it from a lot of people. Thank you.
Got nothing but compliments about this project, especially in front of Starbucks, how you added shrub and between the trees and the sidewalk. That just really enhances the experience for the pedestrians, because we have a lot of people walking that corridor. So I really appreciate it. The wrought iron fences on Civic Center. I never even noticed there was a regular fence there until I saw the iron fence, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, can't believe I never even thought of installing those iron fences there. So the fact that you thought of it and implemented that was a great idea. So I'm really pleased with the project, and I look forward to hopefully in the near future expanding the project from Norwalk all the way to Bloomfield, because I feel like that second part of the city will just liven up the way ours has here. So good job.
Okay, I want to thank the City Council and the Capital Improvement Committee, both very instrumental, and of course the community for being patient throughout the construction, because they're never easy. When you deal with construction, it does take some time.
And if I may add, part of continuing the same kind of aesthetic improvement is as we work with developers, and you'll see, and the CIP committee and Joe can attest, when we work with the developers and there's a few projects coming in the next year, the beautification aspect of it is critical, and so we don't allow them to. I can tell you for sure, the 24-hour fitness came in with a much weaker design than what's going to be in there, because, as I like to tell them, you can't get away with this anywhere else, so don't try it here. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to receive and file?
I motion to receive and file.
I'm sorry. To motion to adopt resolution number 045-2018.
I'll make the motion to adopt the resolution.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Discussion item number 2. Approve a professional service agreement with Tripepi Smith for public affairs and media relations services. Report.
Assistant City Clerk, Ms. Colombo.
Thank you. Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council, what you have before you is a resolution for professional services agreement with Tripepi Smith for public affairs and media relations service. Just to provide you a little bit of background, this item, we prepared an RFP. Myself and the city manager met with the technology committee back in February 7th to be precise. And we discussed it a little bit and received the input from the committee. We had members of the public actually present that day. From there, we provided the copies to the city council through the city manager's office for additional input from the council on the RFP prior to releasing that. And then finally, on March 6th, we released the RFP. At the time that we released it, we did include advertising and posting of the city's website to provide the information. And then on March 27th, the RFP closed. We did receive the proposal with scope back from Tripepi Smith. Staff did review it. The city manager's office did review it. At this time, after reviewing it, we had some items on there that we wanted to be included, and we selected them. They're professional, they're highly trained individuals, they understand the political and personal dynamics associated specifically with local agencies and local government. They have many clients, so they have nearly 20 years of experience in the profession. They do provide support to various agencies, private and public, throughout the state of California. They provide services specifically to over 20 cities. With that, we also have one of the representatives here from Tripepi, John, to do a quick presentation and answer specific questions.
Right. John, can you come up to the podium, please? So, can you say your last name?
Baroloni. Italiano.
Okay, that's what I was going to say, exactly like that, so it's good. But John will present a quick presentation, and I can add a few comments. As you know, just a little background, we used to have two different consulting groups to do essentially what I hope Tripepi Smith will be able to accomplish for us, which is just overall better media relations with the community and our businesses, and more importantly, reaching out in avenues that we haven't done before, such as social media. So, John.
All right. Thank you, Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council. Again, thank you for just a brief opportunity to tell you a little bit more about Tripepi Smith, our professional background, especially here in this section of Southern California, and also the work that we propose doing for your city. So, brief overview. We started work in 2000, incorporated in 2002. So, as Lucy mentioned, close to 15, 20 years of experience doing a combination of public affairs, media relations work, marketing, technology. And we really thrive when those three areas of marketing, technology, and public affairs overlap, especially when all three do. We have grown to a 12-member team that is spread throughout the state, from NorCal all the way down to SoCal, and we have a variety of skill sets. So one of the biggest benefits that we like to say when you're hiring Trippi Smith, you're hiring an entire team, and you have access to an entire team and all the skill sets that come with it. As you heard Lucy mention as well, we specialize in local government and public agency clients. We have a variety of experience and backgrounds working with cities, special districts, and member organizations and associations that focus entirely on local government. So we are very, again, experienced in the challenges that you as a city face, and also some of the opportunities that you can take advantage of as a public agency, making your communications bigger, better, stronger, and faster. And we'll get into some of the specific work we do, but as I mentioned, presence in NorCal and SoCal. We are active sponsors and/or have clients in a variety of local government member associations, whether that's Contract Cities, the League of California Cities, Municipal Management Association of Northern California and Southern California. Local government loves its acronyms. And the California City Management Foundation as well. As, again, you heard Lucy mention in a brief intro, we have 20-plus city clients that we have done work with in just the past few years here in California, and 75-plus unique clients in just the last 12 months. We frequently make an effort to attend local government conferences, events, webinars, anything we can do to keep up to date on all the different aspects of local government and the challenges and policy issues that are happening and changing on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. And we also frequently present on panels at these events. We've especially become known for our specialty in social media marketing and leveraging those Web 2.0 technologies to build conversations between cities and their residents and the different communities that are looking to cities and public agencies for up-to-date information on what's going on in the place that they call home. Quick list, yeah, that's readable enough, good. So you can see there are a variety of cities, even in close proximity here, that we've already done work with in the past, especially over the past few years, specifically Bellflower, Norwalk, Lomita, Paramount, practically a stone's throw from here. So we are very familiar with the unique characteristics of this swath of Southern California and all the different unique aspects of being a city and a public agency in this part of LA. So according to the staff report that you were given, we are proposing breaking up this work into two different phases. The first phase would start with what we call a quick strike communications assessment. Now for other cities, we have done what we would call a full-blown communications assessment. Those can typically take anywhere from 3 to 4 months as we're diving in deep and looking at a city's current communication processes, the tools and platforms that you're using, and identifying what we can do to make things bigger, better, stronger, faster. A quick strike assessment would cut that time practically in half so that we can get to the real meat of the work that we need to be doing here and supporting the city manager and his staff in the external communications work that you would need to do. End result of a communications assessment is a report that takes a detailed look at especially all of the awesome numbers that we can get from digital platforms like your website, your social media, and be able to tell what are we doing right, what are some opportunities for doing things better, what are some things that we may be missing out on, what are some opportunities that we could take advantage of in phase 2. And that always ends with a set of specialized, customized recommendations for your city in terms of what we see is working and what we could be doing better. And phase 2 would be the kind of ongoing month-to-month section of the work, specifically as we talked about the needs for enhanced press relations, media relations, public affairs, to be able to tell all the wonderful stories that are going on in this square mile here, in your 15,000 residents and your 3,600 households in the school district. There's a lot to uncover. I think it's fair to say there's a lot that this community doesn't know that's going on within their cities, and there are a lot of great stories to tell. And that is what we specialize. We are specialized in. We are storytellers. We help surface those stories and help get your communities in the know about what's going on, again, in the place they call home. And a lot of that has to do we do that through digital tools. So whether that's your website, whether that's social media, or whether that's kind of taking the more traditional route and working with local newspapers and bloggers, we leverage all of those different aspects of the communications world and help get those stories shown. And here you can just see a brief example or list of all the different services that we could offer this city and all the different services that we have offered to public agencies in the past.
So, just to add, this is essentially the final piece of a trifecta that your efforts to reach out to the community. So, as you know, you've already approved improving the city's website. You've already approved us surveying the business community to find out what are their needs, what do they want to do. And now this is an opportunity to not only reach out to the businesses, but also to reach out to the residents. And really, I think something we all know here is, what a great community we do have and all the different services that the City Council does provide. Not only making sure people know what they are, but if they don't know, being able to reach those services. So as John mentioned, they are going to do a analysis essentially of what communication patterns we have now and what's working, what's not working, what works best, and then come up with a plan on how to reach out to the community. Once we get ready for that, I think we'll convene as a city council in a study session because I want to make sure I gather your input on what is and what isn't important. Once that is identified, we can implement a plan. And as John mentioned, as we move forward, their services are as needed. In other words, I know we've had issues with some of the contracts in the past, but we pay what we get for, or you pay what you get. And I know there's a better way to say that. I can't think of it. You get what you pay for. That applies to them and me, just by the way. But I'm good. But essentially, you'll be a part of this process once they've done their analysis. Because again, this is under your leadership and what I like to call the trifecta of the reaching out to this community. So.
Now we haven't applied for any of these services that you've listed here, other than the initial going out into the community, right? But these are available to us, right?
Potential services, correct.
Yeah.
And just for clarification, this is not going to be on a retainer basis. It will be ad hoc. So like you said, it will pay as we go. And monies have been allocated, funds have been allocated in the current adopted budget by the council.
But one of their strengths really is the social media aspect. I don't Twitter or Fitter or any of that stuff, but I know a lot of people do, so it's going to be one of their goals.
Well, I'm really excited. Welcome. I know that you'll be presenting us with a report at some point, and will this include social media analytics study?
Exactly. That's a core component.
Okay, great. Well, I'm really excited to see how we're doing there. But most importantly, I saw that you offer services for city branding and style guide. I think that's something that could totally enhance our current services. I would love to see unique branding for Parks and Rec, for our development services, our pool area, our senior services, just to give them an identifying mark in addition to our, city logo. So I look forward to seeing how we can work further to make that happen. And as my colleagues know, we'll be unleashing the Clean Power Alliance of Southern California within the next year. I'm sure you're already working with other cities on how to put that out to the community and properly message that new shift with green power to the community. So
Yes.
I'm sure we'll be utilizing you a lot with that. So welcome, and I look forward to seeing your work.
Thank you.
I also am excited by the possibility, as part of the technology committee. I'd like to thank Lucy for her effort in this project. But although I was trying to focus on your presentation, I kept being distracted by the light bulbs on the top of your presentation. Did they have any particular significance as to why they were included?
Light bulb to kind of match the idea, having an idea. So that's where we started
Okay,
with
I kept
our
missing
logo
it. I'm
and
like, I was
branding.
trying to focus on your thing, but my eye kept traveling. I guess as an artist, that's what you look. I'm like, I was trying to, didn't work. Well, anyways, I look forward to your work, and I'm excited at the possibility. Obviously, we want to reach out to our residents, and being there for them is the most important thing. So thank you.
Thank you.
I loved your presentation, and I love working with Contract Cities and League of California Cities, and they're back. They approve of you, so welcome.
Thank you.
When I first seen the cap of $60,000, I went crazy. So wait a minute, we just got rid of that, and I figured out, so that's $5,000 a month. So I went over to Ernie and I said, what is this? And then he explained it to me that we pay his work done. So
Yes.
yes.
And she explained it to me, so
Oh,
that's
so
why
you-
I
you-
accepted.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
'cause
you had the
I
same
questioned
thing?
it too. Yes, yes. But that's
so
good.
that's good. So
Good.
thank you very much. Any more questions or? No? Oh, thank you.
Thank you again.
I believe we need a motion. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll motion. Can I motion?
You can motion.
I motion to adopt
Here's the same thing you can.
resolution number 046-2018.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. At this time, do we go to the committee reports or do we go to the RDA? Okay. Okay, we go to item E, committee reports. Seeing none. New business? None. Oral staff reports? None?
Yes, we have one staff report regarding the teen center. As you know, the city council had authorized us to work on the architectural design for the teen center, which is basically taking over the existing MAOF, or the previous MAOF building that's now owned by the city of Hawaiian Gardens, and converting that to a teen center. Locke has been, who's the architect with BOA Architect, has been working on the architectural component of this project after having met in a community meeting and getting direction. We anticipate that the council would be reviewing these plans at the June 26, 2018 city council meeting for their consideration and authorization to go out to bid.
Thank you.
Can you give me those dates again?
The last meeting of June 26, 2018 is the anticipated date when we would be putting an item on the agenda for the city council to consider the approval of plans and specifications, authorize that, and go out to bid.
Thank you.
Don't we have all that stuff in order now? Why do we have to wait all the way till June?
Because we're in design stages right now. So what you looked at was preliminary concept drawings when we had met with the committee. And so based on the selection that I believe the council provided, I believe this item came before the city council as a body, and there was an option that was selected. Based on that, they're now putting together all the architectural drawings and specifications that's necessary to perform those improvements.
And so it'll take that long?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, because we've seen those, our first meeting of March, we've seen his drawings.
Yeah, I don't recall when was the last time we brought this to the city council, but the architect needs time to put together all the architectural design work so that a contractor can bid the project. So What you saw were just concept drawings. There was
And
several
there
concept
was
drawings.
modifications to the concept drawings. You recall, in particular, the backyard changed drastically from what was proposed with City Council's input. Exactly. So.
Council reports.
Not a report, but just a request. I know that we just opened the pool, and I'm just really excited about that. But I've gotten a lot of inquiries about the public asking whether or not it'll be extended with a climate change, the pool opening. So if we know when it'll close, if it's closing later, because I know we discussed it before.
Yes, so the pool is scheduled to open as tradition Memorial Day weekend. So we plan on opening in a few weeks.
And it'll close?
We typically close the Labor Day weekend holiday.
Yeah, I wanted to see if we could extend it for like another month or 3 weeks.
Right. So, and that we did that last year. The City Council did it last year. And so this year, in anticipation of that, when we propose amendments to the July 1 fiscal year, that'll be one of the proposed changes, is to extend officially and essentially change it moving forward.
Okay.
As we get hotter and hotter. I mean, it's already pretty hot. So.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thanks.
I wanted to make a comment on the Mayor's Prayer Breakfast. Fourth annual prayer breakfast was very well done. I was really impressed. David Zamora did an excellent job speaking. It was a very, very good program. I'm very happy to see that the fourth annual one was top-notch. Yeah. It was good.
Sunday we had an event where there's a program in Mexico called Las Palomas Mensajeras, and they contacted us when in February, and the program is where they people or parents, grandparents who haven't seen their kids here in the United States for some of them up to 15, 20 years, that they could get a visa to come down here and visit their kids or their in-laws. And we got together, Chavan especially, she helped us a lot, getting together with the, I guess she's the lawyer over there, who is in charge of the immigration in the city of San Pedro, or Venustiano Carranza. And we send out letters of invitation to those people so they could get a visa to come and visit their relatives here. And we ended up with 20, and they did get their visas. And they arrived here Sunday. We had one of our buses go and pick them up at the airport, and we have their reunion right out here at City. And it was amazing. There was so many people. Lucy and Michon, they helped us set up some snacks for them, and Hank and I and Candy and Andrea, they set up the tables, the tablecloths and everything. Anyway, we ended up with, I don't know how many people. How many do you think we had? About 100?
About 300.
And some of them came as far as Fresno, one from Arizona, San Diego, and to meet their relatives here. And we had Channel 34 and Channel 52 who stayed here through the whole time recording, and I guess they came out in the 11 o'clock news, or because there's a lot of people said they seen the event, and Hawaiian Gardens got very good publicity. You know, we got extra good publicity, and it was quite an event. I didn't expect it to be that great, because this is the first time we had the program, and so I don't know, in the future I think they're going to have something similar maybe next year, where they're going to bring different people, and being that we sent out letters of invitations for them to come here, they got their visas right away. So the City of Hawaiian Gardens was responsible for all that, and we're getting praised all over the place. And like I said, it was televised on Channel 52, Channel 34, so they know where Hawaiian Gardens is. And it was great. And like I said, we had plenty of help. You know, Lucy, Jovan out there setting up the food and tables, and Hank also. So I think we did a good job there.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't know the whole scope of the bus pulling up with these people coming out, but I did see the tears, the hugging. It was like an atmosphere that I did not expect, but now I see why. All the emotion was there. It was a beautiful thing. I was just glad to be part of it. And I was like kicking back with the lady that came with them, attorney type lady who makes sure everything's legal. She came looking for where's the people from the city? Who runs the city? They said, he's the mayor. Well, you too, you come with us. You guys are a big part of this. So there we were on TV. So, it was beautiful. Beautiful tears. I love seeing happy tears. So great.
Honorable Mayor and members of City Council, I forgot to mention during staff reports, so I was going to give you the information details this week, but as we're here before the public, we're training staff and getting ready to roll out the Wi-Fi at all the city parks. All the equipment's in place, and it'll be available to the public. It's available now. We just need to train staff on how to handle troubleshooting, that kind of thing. And then obviously we're going to roll it out as far as advertising so everybody's aware of it. But I plan on giving you more details this week to include the actual radius of the reception, all those kind of things. So that issue came before the Technology Committee and later on approved by the City Council. So thank you all.
One more question. What's happening with my memorial over there? They stopped. I mean, I haven't seen no action going on.
It'll be ready by Memorial Day, sir. Guaranteed.
Well, just to clarify, so they are working, but they're not working on site. So the cage, which is all the rebar that's going into the hole, is being put together by a third party off site. So I believe it's this week that they're going to be installing the cage and pouring concrete on Friday.
All right, thank you.
Okay. It's taking a little longer to get your name in gold. They add another 2 weeks, but it'll be there.
Okay, so now we have a closed session, but prior to that, we're going to go to the successor agency, RDA meeting. And we go to item A, public hearings, none. B, consent calendar. Does anybody wishes to So do I have a motion to accept the...
I'll make a motion to accept the consent calendar.
I will second it.
All those in favor?
I will second it. Aye.
Yeah. So we just go straight to the discussion items? Okay.
Yeah, it'd be appropriate to adjourn the successor agency meeting.
We'll adjourn the RDA, successor agency. So now we'll proceed with the closed session.
Yes, Honorable Mayor, members of the Council, if I may, there are 3 items listed on your closed session agenda this evening. For the City Council, conference with real property negotiators, Government Code Section 54956.8, for the property located at 22432 Norwalk Boulevard, and the negotiators listed on your agenda. Item 2, public employee appointment, Government Code Section 54957 for the city engineer position. And item 3, public employee discipline, dismissal, release, pursuant to Government Code Section 54957. And that item is a continuation of the meeting on April 24th, 2018. It would be appropriate to recess in a closed session at this time.
I should mention that I'm recused from I-1, right?
Okay.
Because of a conflict of interest.
Very good. So when I report the actions, I'll note for the record that Mayor Pro Tem did not participate in that discussion. Thank you. Okay, honorable mayors, members of the public, and city council. Record should reflect that the city council did recess in a closed session to discuss 3 items on the agenda. For item 1, Mayor Pro Tem Bruce was not in the room participating because of a conflict. Record should reflect that the remaining 4 members of the city council received a briefing from community development staff and the city manager on this item. Direction was provided to the city manager, but no final reportable action was taken. On item 2, public employee appointment for the title of city engineer. Direction was again provided to the city manager to negotiate terms and conditions of a contract with the consistent with the terms discussed by the city council in closed session. Those firms will be contacted by the city manager, but again, no final action was taken by the city council, so there's nothing further to report on that item. Item 3, public employee dismissal, discipline and release. Again, direction was provided by the city council to the city manager, but no final or reportable action was taken. Resolution of that matter will be reflected in a written report from the city to resolve that grievance. Honorable Mayor, that concludes my report.
So I'm adjournment for this meeting until Tuesday, May the 22nd, 2018 at 6 p.m.